self-care is not selfish. It's actually the biggest part of showing love that you could offer to your family, your friends, and your community.
As women, we nurture and take care of the world. And so it's just so important to make your health, your self-care numero uno. So
get around people who are going where you want to go and who are where you want to be. And that's exactly what I did. I wanted to be in real estate, so I got around people who were doing things in real estate that I wanted to do.
So you might not be able to move things around or change what happened to you, but if you can change the way that you see it and how you're reacting to it, there's a way.
Just do what you have to do. There's no excuse. This morning, I knew that if I didn't get up at 4 in the morning and clear out my emails and do everything that I needed to do.
You don't want the government to dictate or a judge to dictate how your hard-earned sacrifice and wealth gets distributed to your family and your loved ones.
Our culture is embedded in American culture. There are people who come to America and engage in American culture, which is Black culture. So Juneteenth is really about Black culture, and it's about celebrating us, celebrating the different diasporas of Black people, even the dialects.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope all is well on today. We are in March. We are in the third month of the first quarter, which is scary. Like, we've had some ups and downs this month, some challenges already for the year. Would it be this month? No, it was the end of the month, I guess. With the political arena. So we are just staying prayed up, staying encouraged, and staying connected to each other. One of the things that we have definitely sought and found is that we have to be connected in order to move through this world. It is what the Bible says. It is what it is destined for us to have happen. And so we are just excited to wake up another day, have another day to breathe and to say, yes, I made it on the other side of the ground. Because somebody didn't wake up this morning. Let me get an amen, somebody. Amen. All right. So for those who don't know me, my name is ATHENIA RODNEY, CEO and founder of Juneteenth NYC. And this month, we are going to be doing a business series supporting our entrepreneurs. One of the things that Juneteenth has been very paramount in as a cornerstone has been helping our vendors, our businesses to thrive beyond just the moment. So we are very big when we have our vending events. My goal is always to share with vendors that it's not just about the moment that we are in right then and there, but how are you going to continue to keep that person who purchases from you at the event as a long-term customer? And 90% of people are like, I'm not sure. And one of the things that I learned in doing Mary Kay and being a part of an MLM is that they're constantly talking about re-engagement. You can sell to someone, but for the first time, but how do you continue to keep them going? And once they are sold on your product, to be honest with you, they just want you to follow up with them. And funny enough, this morning I went to, I'm part of this group called Power Core, and we talked about today follow-up. 80% of people will not follow up after the first time. And that's where they lose a lot of their business. And then another 20% will only follow up after the second time. And only 10% will follow up after the third time. So just to think about, if you are a person who follows up at least 5 times with someone, then you are more than likely going to get the sale with the customer. And we're going to talk a little bit about different ways. Specifically on today, we're talking about your websites. And if you can bring up the slide for me. So we are going to be talking about a number of different things. But the focus today is your website converting or just decorating? don't know. We got some funny stuff going on in the screen, but we'll fix that for the next time. So is your website converting or just decorating? That is the big question that we are constantly asking business owners when we meet with them. And what I mean by that, you have your website, and a lot of people spend a lot of time and effort focusing on the prettiness. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it looks so nice. But is it actually making you money? Something can look nice and people can go to the site and they can not find what they're looking for. And that's where the issue comes up. If they are not able to see what they are looking to find when they go to your page, then they're not going to stay on the page. They're going to just continue to move over to find the next company, the next business that is easier to understand. And what we're going to be talking about in the next couple of sessions as we are moving forward as well is going to be talking about what a website is and what a landing page is, because a lot of people don't know the difference between the two. And I'm curious. I know we have a couple of people joining us on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook. And we want to get some information from you. So if you can, just put in the chat what you think the difference between a website and a landing page is. What's the difference? What makes a difference between having a website and having a landing page? All right. So I have a couple of questions to ask you first that I want to get your thoughts on, right? So if 10 potential customers landed on your website today, how many of them would actually become clients with you? Is it one? Do you think two? Or do you think none of those will actually land, like purchase, become a customer to you? Most business owners honestly don't really have an idea. When I ask them, I don't even know how many people I have that visit my website each day. And that is a challenge because that can be a selling point for you. It's a great way to also bring in additional business. And we'll talk about some of these ideas later. But if you know, so for example, my Juneteenth page, I am very aware that my Juneteenth page brings in about 287 individuals visit our page per day, right? So that is a little bit over, I think, 20,000 people who are visiting the page on a monthly. And then for the month of May and June, we typically triple that number. So we have something over 60,000 people who are watching, who will go to our page. And that is something that is very useful for us, because we can say to a potential, let's say, sponsor or someone who is looking to get marketing exposure, hey, this is what we have on our page. And they're like, oh, wow, you have some really good engagement. So it's worth me giving you $300-$500 a month to have my information listed on your page because you're getting the traffic. So someone says, landing page is for sale, something, and can change. Your website should be fixed. Okay. And that's from Facts TV that said that. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to tweak it a little bit. So yes, a landing page is usually a sale. It's a sale for something specific. So a focused or targeted sale towards something. So you might have like, for example, we have our event planning business, and with our event planning business, my targeted sale might be my number one offer, which will probably be like our DJ services. Our DJ services are about $1,000. So that's our number one targeted offer. So that's our focus. So we're focusing people to come to the page for DJ services. Now, they might not be able to afford the $1,000. So later on, we might have a sub offer. And again, I'm not going to get into the weeds because we're going to talk about this in week 3 about a landing page, but it'll be a sub offer that they can get into that might be buying a playlist or something like that for the event. So one is a DJ bringing all of their equipment. Another one might be just a DJ without the equipment, like a club or a restaurant that already has equipment. And then the last one might be a playlist. So everyone who is coming to that page is focusing on getting a DJ without a doubt. Like that's their goal. They are coming to get a DJ. Now it's just at what level of DJ services would they be getting from you? And that would be what a website is. I mean, what a landing page is. Now with the website, it's more broad, because with the website now you are going to have all of the information. You're going to talk about how long you've been in business. Maybe you'll have all of the major events that you've ever done. You're going to talk about all maybe some pictures or photos area of all of a gallery of all the events that you've done in the past. On there you might do other services like do MC services, or you may have a photo booth service that you want to include. That would be on a website. So that would encompass a whole bunch of other things. You might have other resources or other partners that you want to include, like some event planners that you partner with. That would be on a page. That would be on your website. So what you were saying, your website is a little bit more fixed. However, what people don't realize is your website should always have changing information on it, because when you don't have changing information on your website, Google does not pick it up as easily. When you have constant information, what Google is saying is that your page is relevant and that people are interested in what you're sharing. And so they're going to bring you closer to the page, to the first page in reviews. All right. So I did share a little bit about myself already. My name is ATHENIA Rodney. I am the founder of AR Business Expansion. I'm also the founder of Juneteenth NYC. So I wear a couple of different hats. But today my hat is going to be on the AR Business Expansion page. Just hold on moving forward. Where the biggest thing that we have been doing is helping leaders so organize what they've already built so that their business systems can actually work for them. And I've been there. I've been in a space where I did not have business systems or systems put in place, and I was doing all of the work for doing all of the work, period. Or my team was carrying the load, and that is unfair to have one individual or a couple of individuals that are carrying the load for an entire something that can be part of a system. And so one of the things that I have encouraged business owners that I work with is to create a system that helps to take on a load so that you can have more peace of mind. And that these days, like I started off by sharing, we are in times that are very challenging. We just went into war. The economy is up and down. We don't know our left from our right most times. And so there needs to be something that has some consistency, and that should be your peace of mind. And so the ways that you're able to build peace of mind is by identifying ways that you can have your business on automation. So what is the real problem? Many entrepreneurs believe the challenge is visibility. So they'll say, oh, I'm not getting enough views on my page. But I had a influencer that I was working with. She has something like 80,000 followers on her page. And she would put up a post and it wouldn't get engagement. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, I have all these people on my page, but they're not engaging with me. Are they real people? So we started going through it, and they were all real people, and they had engaged with her page at some point, but they were not engaging with a particular focus or topic that she was putting on, because that wasn't their topic, her target market. So we talk about visibility and how things are visible. Are you in a space where people are going to your page on a regular basis, but they are not purchasing from you? Then they think that the solution is more about content. They'll say, oh, I need to have better content on my page. My page doesn't have have the right wording and things like that on it. And yeah, partially that is correct, but it is not the full story. When you are putting information on a page, you have to have the right content, the things that are going to come up on your SEO. So keywords that can be searched in multiple places. They would say, oh, I need more social media. I need to do more with my social media so it can drive traffic to my page. Or they need to say, oh, I need to do more networking. If I go to 50 more events, then I'm going to have more customers. And they're going to their page and then still nothing. But what I see all of the time is people who are already visible. They're posting, they're networking, they are active, yet their growth still feels inconsistent. And the reason is usually not their effort. The reason is the systems. Are people going to the page? Do they have a call to action when they get to your page? Are you telling them what to do? A lot of people are like, so think about this. You go to a party and there is a spread of desserts on the table, and you just walk in and you're new to the place. You've never been around these people before. So you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Do I take the desserts? Do I not take the desserts? Is this for me to take right now? Is this for later? And so you're sitting there and you're just like, okay, I'm waiting for somebody to tell me what to do. And that's pretty much what's happening on your website. People are new to your page. They've never been there before. So they get to your page, they see this plate of desserts and everything there, and they're like, do I take it or do I not? But nobody's there to say, yes, please. As soon as you come in, please take a dessert and have a seat. That is what a call to action does. It tells the customer what you want them to do when they get into the space. And that's what you should be doing in everything that you post. All of your social media posts, even when you were going to do your elevator pitch, when you're on the elevator, you want to get them to do something before you get off. Follow me on Instagram, like me on YouTube, something that's a low lift. So if you are going to networking events, you want to lead them with a call to action as well. And absolutely, on your website, you want to have something that is a call to action where you're asking them to do something. You want them to complete a survey so that you can learn more information, so that you know how to appeal to more people like them. You may have an offering that you want to give them. That's another way that you can keep them engaged. But you want to ask them to do something. Next slide, please. So now we're going to talk about visibility versus conversion. So what does that look like? Here's an important distinction. Traffic does not equal traction. And we are sadly mistaken if we think if we have a lot of traffic that we are going to also get traction from that. And again, I'm gonna give you another scenario. Think about it like this. If you're a table vendor, you went and you set out your table on the busiest highway. So in New York City, it might be like Eastern Parkway or Atlantic Avenue, right? Where there's a lot of traffic constantly pouring past. Or in Georgia, it might be Centerville or one of the interstate highways, right? And you set up your business there and people are just passing you by. There's traffic. You have lots of traffic. You have a lot of people passing by. They see you there, but nobody is stopping to engage with your business. So that's what traffic is all about. You have the traffic, but you don't have the traction. You don't have something that's like stopping people in their tracks to be like, oh, you know what? I really need that. Let me pull over and get it. You can have people visiting your website every day. And like I said, I do. On my Juneteenth page, we have people going to our website for different things. If they want to be a vendor, if they want to be part of the fashion team, if they want to volunteer, they just want to learn more about who we are and what we do, if they want to donate. But at the very beginning on my page, we have what we want them to do. And you know what that is? Donate. Donate so that you continue to keep these things that we are doing and helping our community stay alive. Donate. That's what we ask them to do. That's the first thing. So what is your thing? What do you want people to do when they get to your page? The real question is, what happens after someone clicks? When someone clicks on your page, when someone lands on your website, does the site guide them toward a clear next step? Or does it just show information and hope that they figure it out themselves? And if you think that they are just going to figure it out themselves, then unfortunately, you're wrong. Because like I said, just like that plate of desserts that's on the table in a space that somebody is just going to for the first time, if no one says, oh, it's okay, go ahead and take some desserts, people are gonna be very hesitant, and they might take something on a slide because they like, oh well, I don't know if I should take it or not. Unless you're real bold and you just like, I don't care, it's here, I'm taking it. But most people are not on the bold side. They're more in a, I don't want to be respectful, I don't know if this is for me kind of situation. And so that's what people are saying when they go to your page. Oh, this looks good, but I don't know if it's for me. So what are you doing to get them to know that this is for you? Next slide, please. So website reality check. So here are a few questions every business owner should be able to answer. The first one is, do you know your website conversion rates? Do you know your website conversion rates? If you know your website conversion rates, drop it in the chat. I want to see what we have, what people are sharing, if you know your website conversion rates. I know that my Juneteenth website conversion rates are 100, well, not even 100. So for my vendors, they're 100 to 1. But for some of our other programs, so like our models and our volunteers, they're closer to like a 20 to 1 or even a 15 to 1 ratio, meaning 15 people that go to our site, one of them is going to sign up. For vendors, because we have information on our page that lets people know like if this is for them or not, because we have our prices on our page. So they're going to quickly know, yes, this is for me, or no, this is not for me. And then it has a list of other information too. So that's why in that space, it's a little higher. It's 100 to 1. So do you know where the visitors will leave your site? I do know where the visitors leave my site. When they come to my site, the last stop that they usually stop on our page is our board members. They want to go to the board. So our board members page is our highest viewed page on our website, because people want to know, who are the people behind this business? Are they real? Are they really saying who they, are they really the people who they are saying they are? And that is good information to know. You want to know where people are landing on your website the most, because that's where you want to put certain information. Like if you're highlighting a sponsor, or you're doing partnership relationships, you will put it on that page because you know it will get the most traction. Do you track how many inquiries or form submissions happen each week? I absolutely do, especially with my AR business expansion. I know how many inquiries are coming in. I know how many submissions happen each week. But do you? Is that something that you're aware of? Or do you even have a form or inquiry page on your website in the first place? And a lot of people do not. Their page does not have that information. And that's not because they aren't smart, and because we are all some very intelligent individuals, but more than likely it's because most websites were designed visually and not strategically, so that you are getting the best bang for your dollar. Next slide, please. So the 5 website leaks, what are they? So one is, when we audit websites, there are 5 very common problems that appear over and over again. The first is no clear offer, like I shared already. There's nothing that you are really getting them to tie into. What is it that you are trying to get them to connect to? What service are you offering? What product are you offering? What is it? Why are they there? Visitors come to the site, but it's not immediately obvious what the business actually wants them to do. I've gone to a couple of sites and I'm searching around and I'm like, what exactly is this business? I'm confused. Are you a photographer? Are you a graphic designer? Are you? So if someone has to go to your page and say, what exactly do you do? I still don't get it. After they've gone to the website, which is the space that they're supposed to go to get clarity about who you are, then your website is not doing the job that it's supposed to. The second is, there's no clear call to action. Again, every time you go anywhere, anytime you do anything, there should be a call to action that is on your page, on your social media, and anytime you do any kind of verbal presentation about your business. What is your call to action? Like, my call to action to all of you is to like, share, and tag someone about this series so that they can continue to learn and they can come back and watch the replays afterwards as well. That's a call to action. People might read your site, but you're not guided towards the next step. So, and one of the things that I like to talk about is something called bank personalities. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with bank personalities, but bank is just like the BANK. That's bank. And there are 4 different types of personalities that every individual, especially in marketing, falls in. B are your blueprint individuals. Those are the people who want to know, like, what's the structure. Like, they want you to tell them what's going to start off, what's the process going to be when you first start off, what's going to be the follow-up, what's going to be the middle, and how are we going to close out at the end. They want to know the entire process, just like the structure of building a house. What does that look like? They want to know before they put a dollar down on what that looks like. A are your action people. They are usually into gamification. They want to see results fast. They're the people that are like, where do I sign up? This sounds great. Oh my gosh, this is some good information. All right, stop talking. I don't want to know anymore. Just tell me how to pay you. Those are action people. And you have a lot of those. And then there are nurture people. Nurture people are people who I mostly like, right? I want to know, how is this helping my community? How is this helping to unify us? How is this growing us? Not just about me, the nurture, about how is this helping others as well as myself. And the K people are the knowledge folks. Those are our bankers, our people in the financial industry, those people who are all about the numbers. They want to know, what's my return on investment? If I put $50 into this, what am I getting back? Am I going to get a customer back? If I pay $5,000 to get a website created, am I going to make my money back? And when will I make my money back? When will I be getting enough customers that I will see the return on my investment that I've put into this? So that is what bank is. And so when I'm talking about some of the spaces where there are leaks in your business, this is a big part of it, where we're not talking to all 4 of these different personalities. We may only be talking to one. So when I talk about that there's no structured follow-up, there's no space for those blueprint individuals and those knowledge people to be able to see, like, what are the steps and what's their return on investment. Also, someone fills out a form or sends an inquiry, and the process after that is completely manual. So it's waiting for you to do something afterwards. So they might fill out an application. And I remember this is how I got into starting my own event planning business, because I was looking for a Black wedding planner way back when. This is almost 18 years now. And I applied to like 3 different sites and I didn't hear back from anybody. Nobody responded. And I was just like, okay. And then I started planning my own wedding. And then guess what? Somebody called me like a month later. And she was like, oh, I see that you're getting married on this date. I want to set up a meeting and I wanted this and I wanted that. And I was like, girl, bye. I've been there, done that. I already done went to found the location. We got flowers. We got this. We got that. I said, what happened? I sent this over a month ago. And she's like, oh, it must have got lost in my emails. I don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. And we get it. Like, life happens. Like, it's happened to me. So I get it. It happens. But when you have a system in place, you're able to automate things so that it is not just stopping in one place. You can have certain things like trigger words that cause on your back end for something to happen. So if someone goes to your page and they fill out a survey, and let's say, again, let's go back to the DJ scenario, and it says, one of the questions could be, what kind of, what's your role or your business? And it may have a drop down list. And one of them is like manager, or another one's like event planner or something like that. I know that those are probably going to be people that's going to be reoccurring income for me as a DJ. So I'm going to put them on a path that's going to designate them so that they get reoccurring information from me, so that they know, let's say, what we have going on, what specials we might have monthly, so that they can refer me to their customers on a regular basis. Versus someone who's like, oh, I'm the bride and I'm looking for a DJ. That may not be reoccurring. It may or may not, but it may not be as frequent as an event planner who plans something monthly. A bride, It might be their wedding, then maybe their bridal shower, it might be their baby shower afterwards, it might be their child's first birthday party. But just think about how far in between some of those things might happen. It might be 1, 2 years, maybe 3 years in between for all 4 of those things to happen. So you'll keep them so that you're top of mind, but it's not going to be something that's going to be consistent. So that's where a structured follow-up on the back end helps you by having processes. The fourth is no automation at all, which means the business owner becomes the follow-up system solely. And the fifth is no data tracking. Without data, it's very hard to improve performance. And so 4 and 5, I'd say, kind of go a little bit hand in hand, because it's all relative to the individual, right? So if I am busy and I have 100 customers that end up coming in, and I'm just knocking on wood that, come on, 100 customer comes to the door, that I have the infrastructure to be able to manage those 100 customers, versus if I was doing it by myself, I would be staying up all day, every day, just so that I can try to manage all of those customers and get the information that they need fulfilled. And especially on something like our Juneteenth festival, when we are doing our Juneteenth event, we have, like I said, we have over 60,000 inquiries or people going to our page. So a lot of them are coming for information. They want to know where the event, if there's rain dates, all of those things. But guess what? We have a lot of that information on our site. But also, guess what? People don't always read. So they don't go to the Q&A section of the website, but it's there. So what happens is if they put that in Google search, if it rains on Juneteenth, will the event still happen? That answer will come up from our Q&A. So that's why having information on your site for the Q&As, that's what we're always encouraging people when we're building out their websites, to make sure that the Q&A is on there. Not because people are going to actually go to it. Some people do, but because it will help to come up on your SEO, on your Google, when people have a question specifically about your event. So we're going to go to the next slide and start talking about brand without back end. Ooh, brand without back end. What does that look like? One phrase I often share with business owners is this: brand without back end is called burnout. And when I tell you people are burnt out, like people are tired, and I get it. People want to be on vacation. I would love to be on somebody's beach somewhere. I would love to be tapped out and to just be able to, at the end of the day, close my computer and not be worrying about, oh, what do I have to still do? Did I do this? Did I do that? And that's what happens when you don't have a good back end. So if your back end is all about you being the only person to follow up, that means that it's manual. You are the system. And guess what? If you are broken down, if you're tired, I remember when I was pregnant, I was going in and out the hospital with my second son. And this was during the time I didn't have back-end processes. And I'm sitting in the hospital with my computer and I'm getting on the IV and I'm sitting there checking emails, responding to things and all of that, because I didn't have back-end support. I didn't have anything. So I was burning myself out. A time I was in the hospital for a reason. I needed to recuperate, and I wasn't able to do that because I was trying to keep my business afloat. And so what does that look like for you? Have you experienced that? Have you been in a place where you are the back end for your business and you don't have a process in place to keep it going without you? If you take 2 weeks off and you go on vacation, is your business still going to run? Are you still going to have income flowing into your business? This is all a part of it. So what I say to most entrepreneurs is don't get exhausted. Put things in place so that we can help you to foster that. Every opportunity doesn't require your attention. There are things that you do often every single day or every time you process something within your business that will help you to be more sustainable. People who have brick and mortar spaces, there's certain things that you do every time you open a door, right? I open the door, I may look around and make sure nobody's around me. I'll go inside, I'll roll up the gates. I'll check the garbage and make sure it's clean. I might mop the floor, sweep the floor. I might check the bathroom and make sure that's clean. I might wipe down the desk. Like, it depends on what your business, but these are the things, the steps that you do. Now, guess what? If I wasn't there and I was on vacation for 2 weeks, it wouldn't get done. But if I wrote it down on what's called an SOP, which is standard operation procedures, then someone is able to come in, an intern, maybe a young person, maybe my son can come in and follow me and do exactly that. So are you putting things in place? Are you writing them down? Are you creating a back end so that you don't get burnt out? Now I see innovative resilience, EBV. He says this is very beneficial. Yes. He says being able to build out systems to automate the back end is helpful. Absolutely. It is very helpful for your business. So we're going to go on to the next slide. So what does a converting website look like? A converting website actually generates revenue. Usually it includes a few important elements. First, a clear positioning. When you go to the website, are you able to identify what who the website is serving? Does it say realtor for realtors, or does it say for lawyers, or for people who are experiencing let's say are going through experiencing a loss or something like that? Like what exactly, or you're getting married, so a bride or groom, like who is your target market? Like who are you looking to target? So is there clear positioning? When someone lands on your site, they should understand exactly who you help and what problem you solve. Every business, the purpose of every business is to solve a problem. If your business is not solving a problem, or if you can't articulate the problem that you're solving, then you have to ask yourself if what you're doing is actually a business. Because every business, its goal is to solve someone's problem. My goal is to solve the problem of helping people to automate their business. So their problem is that they're overworked, they're underpaid, and that they are burnt out. That's their problem. And I'm helping them to solve that problem by putting systems in place, their back end, to structure it so that they are not being burnt out. That's the problem that I'm solving. So ask yourself and share in the chat, those who are with us, what is the problem that you solve with your business? What is the problem that you solve with your business? So like I said, when someone lands on your site, they should understand exactly who you help and what problem you solve. Second, one focused action. This is a landing page. But one focused action is what you want people to be able to identify. If you have additional services, that's great. But you want people to be able to pick up on what is the one thing that you do? What is the one thing that you are solving for them? Instead of asking visitors to do 10 different things, guide them towards one clear step. Third, integrate with customer management systems. Have a CRM, which is what we offer. We have a custom-built CRM, which is a customer relationship management tool that allows you to see the engagements that you have with an individual in different spaces, whether you've had an engagement with them on email, on text message, on phone, like you picked up the phone and actually had a conversation with them, whether it was on social media, whether it was LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it was. The CRM is able to capture all of the information in one place so that all of the information is also updated. So somebody sends you an email and like, hey, this is my new email address, it will automatically update in that CRM system. That's what you need to be using. That's what AI is all about right now, right? Automation. Things are happening a lot faster, and people are expecting things to happen for them a lot faster as well. This allows leads to be captured and organized automatically. Again, so you don't have to be a part of the process. It is automatically happening. Fourth, automate your nurtures. After someone comes into your system, and let's say, like I said earlier about the person that comes for a DJ, right? It might be a event planner, or it might be the bride. The person who's an event planner, we might have a series of follow-up messages that are focused towards helping event planners. Maybe we do an event for all of our event planners, and it's a networking event to connect them with other resources like our florist team, or our balloon decorating team, or photographer and videographer team. So that is part of, creating a nurture. What's the value? And it should always be a value to them, not a value to you. It should not ever be about you as the owner and the person putting this process together. It should be about them. What value are you able to offer the person who is coming to your page? So that event planner, I know that resources, sometimes they need somebody backs out at the last minute, and maybe they need someone that they want to have as a backup. So I'm creating a resource list for them so that they can start to interview other people just in case their preferred list doesn't show up the way they want it to. So what is the value that you are offering to your customers when you are doing these nurtures? Now, not every visitor is ready to buy immediately, but a good system continues the conversation and has a place for them to stay engaged, even if they're not your customer, right? So if you want to stay connected to us and you would like to learn more about what we have going on, join our newsletter so that you can stay abreast of what we have going on. That's a great way to stay connected with people, so that when someone is like, oh, I need a DJ, I forgot his name, or her name, let me go into my email and just put DJ, and guess what? All of your newsletters or your previous messages might pop up and you're easy to find, versus them trying to find through your 50,000 emails. And I'm one of those people. I got like 185,000 emails in my database just because I'm overloaded with information. And so, but I know when I put in a search engine for something to come up that I'm looking for, it comes up and I'm able to reach out to the person who I need. And finally, measurable data, because what gets measured can be approved. So if you know that you have 50 people coming to your site, there are things that you can do, and they're coming from, let's say, social media, then you might want to put more investment in your social media management so that you can get more people coming to your site. If you know that you only have 5 people coming to your site, then you know something is wrong. Maybe you're not getting enough focus to direct people to your site. So being able to measure the data is going to be helpful for you so that you can grow. Next slide, please. So Rice Globe said adding value to the customer is hearts. That is love. It absolutely is love. Innovative Resilience says, I provide access to information and services. That is a need in a community that is that may have a lot of services and information happening in a bunch of different places, but it's not all together. That's actually a need in a community. Yes, the call to action and the offer to stay informed. Absolutely. And then networking and referrals is the new flex if used correctly. Absolutely. It is absolutely the new flex. But like to your point, it must be utilized in a way that people are able to capture the information and they can stay engaged, and that you have ownership over it. Not that social media, not sending them to Facebook, not sending them to Instagram, because guess what? You can say you go into Instagram and then they never see a post ever, unless they specifically go to your page, and people are not even aware that that's something that happened. That's called algorithms. And we'll do a session about that after Juneteenth this year, but definitely be talking about what algorithms are and how you can help to improve your algorithms on your social media. So the growth ceiling. Here's one of the biggest insights I share with business owners. Your revenue ceiling is directly connected to your system capacity. So what does that mean? Sounds like a lot of jargon, right? No, it's not. But your revenue system is directly connected to your system capacity. So if your system is a system of one, meaning yourself, that means that all of the business that you can acquire is only based on how much your capacity is able to take, right? Before your services start to become bad, before people start complaining and giving you 1s and 2s because your services are not good. So it's limited to your capacity. When you have a system in place that can rotate individuals into maybe your calendar but gives them the information that they need in between time, then you're not answering simple questions like, what day is your event? What time is something? Where do I go to make a payment? All of that stuff is on your website. And if you have the right systems in place with automations, all of your information will share that when somebody asks that question. On Instagram, and there's a way that we can, if you drop the question inside of your DMs, there are a series of questions that you can put in there that it will trigger if you say any of these words, that it will give a person an answer. So for example, with Juneteenth, we have, if you go into the DM and it will trigger vendors, the vendor information will pop up and it will say where the event is, how much the event costs, the date, the time, what's involved, what do you get for it? And if you're interested in signing up, here is the link. Again, always have a call to action, right? Here's the link so that you can sign up. That's what you want to have in spaces. So it is not limited to my capacity, because before they had to wait sometimes a week for me to get back to social media, to my Facebook page. I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting Sunday and let me just scroll and like, oh wow, I got like 6 messages in my DMs. Oh, let me respond. Oh my gosh, this was on Monday. It's Sunday. Like we about to go into another week and I'm just now responding to somebody. Now they done found somewhere else to go or figured out another plan of action, especially if it's a product. Like if they are looking for a baker or a balloon decorator or a DJ or a photographer or a service or something like that. They're like, oh, I'm going to go and keep going until I find somebody who immediately responds. And we live in a microwave society right now. So people are looking for immediate gratification. And so if you don't have systems in place that can give people the immediate gratification that they are desiring, that's their expectation, then 9 times out of 10, you will lose that customer. So if your systems can only handle a small number of leads, your growth eventually has its limits. And in some spaces, that's good and some not, right? If you want to have that high white glove level service, then yes. But then you're going to have that high white glove service price points so that you can make your ends, meet your ends, right? You don't want to have this high glove service and you're utilizing all of your time and you're charging people $100. It's only but so many hours in a day, and $100 is I'm almost positive $100 is not going to pay all of your bills, right? So if you got to sleep 8 hours, that leaves you 16 hours. So if you did 16 hours times 100, that's only $1,600 a day at max you'll be able to make, right? Now, if you are charging people $2,000 and you're only working, let's say 4 hours, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, that's $8,000 that you're making in 4 hours. That's a better return on your investment, on your time, because you have created a level of white glove service. So it's really about figuring out those numbers. And I always start when I'm talking with my customers and asking them, how many hours do you want to work? Like how many hours a week are you interested in working? Because that's going to be the telltale sign of how much you should be charging. Because you also need to have time to eat, time to sleep, time to spend time with your family and your friends. You need to include all of that in your time schedule. And a lot of people forget that. And people, I know my pastor A.R. Bernard always talks about, like, I have time to make love to my wife on my calendar. And people are like, what do you mean? Like, but and I say too, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't happen. So you have to utilize your schedule so that you know how to organize your life. So that's one of the ways that I help people to go through and figure out, like, just what are your pricing? Like, how much should you charge for your services? Because a lot of that is based on how much time you have available. And next slide, please. So these are some reflection questions as we are about to close out. So imagine what your business would look like if 3 things were happening consistently. Follow-up was automatic, every lead was tracked, and your decisions were guided by real data. That's the difference between operating with effort and operating with a system in place. And so we'll go to the next, please. So if there are any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will absolutely respond to them. But if you found this helpful, take a look at our website this week and ask yourself a simple question. Is the site just decorating the internet, or is it actually designed to convert visitors into clients? Understanding the difference can completely change how a business grows. If you enjoy learning about business systems, automation, and growth strategy, make sure to subscribe because I share practical insights like this regularly, even on our regular lunch and learns. And like I said, for the month of March, we're going to be focusing on entrepreneurship. And so our series is going to be focused on business growth. And so next week, I'm going to be talking about websites and going more in depth on what a website is and what it isn't. And then we're going to be talking about landing pages and how to build out a landing page. And then we're going to be talking about ownership of your brand, because a lot of what we're doing, we're giving our ownership away and we don't have control over it. And for most people, they see that they don't have control when it's taken away, right? We had over 16,000 followers on our social media page, and it was closed in a blink of an eye. And we learned very quickly we did not have control over that space. But what our saving grace is that we have over 125,000 emails in our database. So we're able to send out emails to people even still and still stay engaged with our followers, even outside of the fact that we don't have the engagement on our social media. But we're building it there. We're getting there. And we're also learning that a lot of our customer base is not on social media. So it helps you to be able to identify things. So like I said, continue to do your due diligence, understand your websites. And if you're not sure, feel free to set up some time with me. I am offering a 30-minute session with a couple of individuals, the first 3 people who are interested, to create a avatar for your business and to help you market to that avatar. So each business should have at least 4 avatars, and we will work on one of them and help you advertise to them. So I hope this was helpful for you on today. We hope that you will bring a friend next week, Thursday, from 12 to 1, so that they can jump in on this information. Tag someone for this particular one, share the link, let them know this was some great content and value. I hope you walked away with something to be able to make a change in your life. Again, my name is ATHENIA Rodney, CEO and founder of Juneteenth and AR Business Expansion. And I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
From the roots of tradition to the rise of reconnection, where history meets the heart of Africa. Celebrate freedom, culture, and homecoming. This isn't just a trip, it's a return. The motherland is calling. Will you answer?